guys, welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Last time, we basically took care of the majority of the prologue, and it took a lot of time to go over a lot of the basics and understanding of the Thousand Year Door, some differences and changes from the original game to this one. And this episode, episode 2, we'll probably still be doing a little bit of that, but hopefully not as much. So we have to come back into the sewer here, but let's head on to the left and go over a couple things. So there's this guy over here, this guy. You may have seen him in the background in the last episode when I came here to collect a star piece behind the pillar. This is Dazzle, which actually is funny now than it was when I first played this game, because when I first started getting into recording long plays for the channel, I did start off, or a channel, Temple, the Azure Flame, and now Loose Goose. I started with emulators, but the first capture card I ever got was a Dazzle. So, yeah, this NPC is one of those things that has aged interestingly throughout the years. Anyway, Dazzle takes the place of, I want to say it was Merlau in the original Paper Mario. You know, they have all the similar names that start with the letter M. Trade badges. And Dazzle takes the place of that. There are 100 star pieces exactly, so let's go over this. Attack FXY, which changes the sound effects of Mario's attacks, which could come in handy. Chill Out, never succumb to a first strike. I'm fine with that. Pretty Lucky, I would not prioritize this, but if you're not a fan of gambling or relying on luck, hey, you trade 3 star points and you can sell it for 75 coins. That's a pretty good deal. Happy Flower, Happy Heart, and Happy Heart P automatically restore FP or HP randomly throughout the battle. Item Hog is a new badge. Make it likelier that items will appear after battle. Now, I'm kind of tempted to grab that, actually. I think I'm gonna. Heart Finder and Flower Finder. After beating a foe, will make more hearts or flowers appear. Peekaboo, which makes enemy HP visible. This badge has even less value in here than it did in the original because you have an incentive to tattle. Quick Change, which allows your ally to attack even after changing partners. Actually, I may want to save up for that. Now I think about it. 8 starter pieces is a bargain for that, by the way. Flower Saver P and Flower Saver drops the flower point used when Mario or an ally, depending on the badge, used by 1, and Power Plus boost your attack. So it's not as many badges, but, you know, some. We come over here, and we are reintroduced to Merlovely. Yes, the lovely fortune teller. So basically, this little corner of the sewer takes the place of Shooting Star Summit, which had Merlovely and Merlau with the badges and the fortune telling. Much like in the original Paper Mario, you can pay a fee to either get hints on your next path. I feel like the Thousand Year Door is a little bit more clear-cut than the original, so you can also ask for star pieces. This is better towards the end of the game when you're likely doing a sweep. And Shine Sprites, which is the most expensive. I'm going to tell you right now, Shine Sprites are actually some of the easiest things to find for a long time, until maybe towards the end of the game. There you go, you got your fortune teller and your badge, star piece badge trading spot. We're going to be heading over here because there's an airplane panel over here, but before that, let's drop down the stairs because there's an extra battle we could do here with the Spiky Goomba. And I do want to leave this in because this could be a pretty tough fight if you don't first strike, because then you have to fight 2 Spiky Goombas back to back. And apparently I forgot to title the Spiky Goomba before, so hey, I guess we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. My apologies. Alright, so this is a Spiky Goomba, a spiky-headed Goomba. What a creative name, huh? That spike is super pointy, so it's better to hit it with a hammer than jump on it. HP is 2, attack is 2, defense is 0. I would have understood if the hat gave it like 1 defense, but that would probably make this enemy a lot tougher. The addition of the spike means you'll hurt your feet if you jump on it. Duh! Oh, there you go. As towards the end of the last part, we equipped our first few badges, and we're going to be rolling with these for a while. The power badges they cost 2 flower points for you to be able to do 4 damage. Or actually, you're spending 2 flower points to add 2 damage to your attack. It also turns your jump from a double attack to a single attack. But we are just gonna... Oh yeah, and Piercing Blow is the same damage as your normal hammer, but you're paying 2 flower points to ignore defense. That badge might actually technically become more valuable as you go through the game, whereas Power Jump in particular might actually lose a little bit of its luster. You will see why in about another chapter or two. So in order to progress here, we are going to use this paper airplane panel to just go on over here. And we come over here. Oh, look at this. This is a little blooper tentacle. You can jump or hammer it. So I'm going to be... So this blooper is talking in blooper speak, but it'll have, in parentheses, you know, English. So I'm going to be rolling with that going forward. We're going to try to. Oh, just a muffin whack someone's touches like that. Hey, hey. Somebody with some serious moxie. That's ooh, baby. Let's get spicy over here. Would you look at that? It's some saucy mustache guy. Oh, yes. He's in a world of hurt. Hope you guys don't mind if I adjust a little bit here. Do this. Oh, dang. I'll give him a taste of the old tentacle trample. Yes. I was trying to channel, like, the voice of DDD from the English dub of Kirby Right Back At You. I don't think I did a very good job, though. I usually do, though. So, Goombella will remind you how to change party members for some reason. This wasn't already obvious before. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and tattle. Let's go ahead and tattle the blooper. So, there you go. You can do a stylish even for the tattles. That's a blooper. And a really super humongous one, too. Ew, it's all slimy. She totally can't stand the slimy, nasty, icky things. Gross. You get it. Max HP is 12, which is the highest HP up to this point, because Lord Crump only had 5, but the attack is only 1. But the blooper can attack with each of its tentacles, so while it's one damage per attack, it could be multiple attacks. And the tentacles have 3 HP. Now, here's a pop quiz for you guys. What item did I mention in the previous episode did I mention that it does exactly 3 damage? If you said Fire Flower, congratulations, you're correct, and you deserve a cookie. Insert cookie emoji here. More importantly, though, that's going to take care of the blooper's tentacles. I don't think the tentacles respawn. At least every single time I do this fight, they do not respawn. If someone in the comments would like to post that maybe they were, you know, fooling around and got the blooper to respawn tentacles, that's cool. But anyway, let's show off Power Smash. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because yeah, you could do multiple flips for the stylish command with Power Smash or Piercing Blow. Goombella can just do that. So, were we gonna get lucky? Nah, we didn't need it though, we're at full health. So, we only used up 2 flower points. I think I'm gonna keep it chill right there. Because we can just use, Goombella's head bunk again to knock the blooper down to 1. And I'm never gonna put effort. I'm just gonna do that. Do a flip though. So, the stylish command can kind of compensate for you not doing the action command all the way successfully. In terms of you getting star power from the audience. But if you are successful with your action command and don't do a stylish command, it's either like roughly equal or slightly better. And before we move on, a little bit of trivia. In the original Paper Mario, there were several bloopers that you fought in the sewer. But technically only one of them was mandatory. Believe it or not. The other 2 are actually optional. And the bloopers that show up are actually sequential. It's pretty interesting. And I've never really done the game like that. Because I usually, between chapters in that game, I usually go to the sewer and mess around and fight bloopers. Because they give a lot of experience. As you saw, we got 20 star points. Which is pretty close to 64. Very nice. That's all I got to say about that. Now let's finally move on to Chapter 1 proper. And I think I still prefer to the Chapter 1 of the original Paper Mario, but that's mostly down to the boss fight. Chapter 1 in here is pretty solid, though. It's more of an extension of the prologue. Castle and Dragon. No ampersand, I noticed. It's just straight up the word and. I feel like an ampersand would have been appropriate in there, but welcome to Petal Meadows. Yeah, I do like the touch where the name comes up in the scroll. So, yeah. Goombella is going to give us a basic rundown, or something like that. Where folks say a crystal star hides. Yeah, start of our adventure. Even though we technically started last time around. Before we move forward, let's hit both of these trees. One will have a star piece, and the other will have another mushroom. Let me check my items real quick. Okay, so we still have 7. It's a good thing I used up that fire flower. So let's move on forward a little bit. And we are somewhat introduced to what will be the chapter boss. Because the chapter's called Castle and Dragon. Chances are you should expect to fight a dragon at some point, okay? So, over on the horizon, we see a dragon go into a castle. Yeah, pretty nice how this chapter starts out, huh? It starts off giving you something to look forward to.
Totally incredible. I've never seen anything that humongous before. It looks kind of scary, too. Weird. Professor Franklin said this place was peaceful. Oh, wow, crazy. We just started and already there's intrigue. Come on, Mario, let's go.
Goombella, allow me to correct you. Let's go! There we go. So there's these slots, these rocks with slots in them. Keep a pin note on that. Okay, let's hit this tree, and there's nothing in there, but this block has another mushroom. I was kind of hoping for another fire flower, to be honest. Then tree here, nothing. So, there's a red block. Before the enemy was defeated and they could regenerate, then the regenerated one could take one of the slots. In this game, that's bumped up to 5. This is the close call badge. When Mario's in danger, it causes enemies to sometimes miss. In the original, it was pretty solid because you didn't get that many badges, but as you can see, in Thousand Year Door, you're gonna be good. But man, do I like the badge sorting system so much. You couldn't do that in the original because all the badges you got, you couldn't sell badges. Every badge you got was like a permanent collectible. But in this game, the badges are a lot more loosey-goosey with that. I know. I'm just saying, they're a lot less restrictive. This game is a lot less. TYD's battle system is more interesting than the original Paper Mario's. There's a lot more potential here. It's pretty funny, I won't deny. Okay, so apparently we might not be leveling up right away. Which is a shame. Kind of weird, too. I figured I would... Usually I do level up by the next enemy encounter that we're going to come across. But apparently we're not. It's weird. So Goombella's going to mention her overworld ability one more time. Which I think if you do it here, it'll tell you how to actually solve the puzzle. But anyway, let's get this. And you missed it, because like I said, these battles go fast when you know what you're doing. I played this game... I've probably played this game roughly once every 2 years since it originally came out. Factoring in the fact that at first, I probably replayed this game multiple times in a year, and eventually I had to force myself to take a long break. By the way, star piece here. One that's actually fairly obvious if you pass by it in that way, but I know where it's at. This is also a section that was included in the demo. Thousand Year Door. I mentioned in the previous episode, I would sometimes go after school to GameStop. Even if I wasn't getting a game, I would just look around and just have an excuse to replay that demo over and over and over until the game finally came out. So in this bush, we have a mystery. Who knows what it is? And here's the fire flower. I believe that brings us to exactly 10 items. Funny coincidence, I know. Now, I could swear one of these these things, like if you hit them, they'll give you a horsetail, but I'm guessing I might have gotten the wrong one. So we'll worry about that later. So welcome to Petalburg. I know what you might be thinking. Isn't there a Petalburg City in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald? Yes. And this game only released like a year or two after that. So likely it is a coincidence. Because there's a pretty good chance when this game was in development, the Pokemon games were also still in development, but much further along. So yeah, I assume if the games were further released apart, like particularly if the Thousand Year Door is maybe released 1 year later, they probably would have realized that and they probably would have done something about it. Or who knows, maybe someone on the localization for the Thousand Year Door really enjoyed Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and they're like, hey, let's name this town in the Thousand Year Door after that. Actually, 2004 was kind of an amazing year in game releases because that was the year when Pokemon Fire and Leaf Green came out. But that was literally the month before the Thousand Year Door, so that's like not even a factor at all. So anyway, when you enter Petalburg, which is basically the successor to Koopa Village from the original Paper Mario, there are a bunch of Koopas here. There's a couple of other non-Koopas here. And for now, in order to get information, we're going to have to track down the mayor, who lives in a pink house.
Oh, sounds totally hideous, but it should be easy to find. Thanks for your help.
So there's an inn over there that costs 5 coins. I think it might cost a little bit more. Not interested. Let's head down here and talk to this guy. This guy. Tis Bub Ober. So, this guy is surrounded by flowers. Okay, it's not going to be an issue right now, but hey, keep a pin note on him in case we do some optional stuff later. Okay, so, bypassing the inn, let's go all the way here to... thought I saw something. Go to the item shop. So, mushrooms are a little cheaper here at 4 instead of 5. We got a new item. Mr. Softener softens up enemies for a bit, decreasing their defense. I can see a use for this item in some of the upcoming fights, but the superior option would be to get a cow block, which only costs 5 coins. That is a bargain. Fire flowers are down 2 coins, and another new item, the Courage Shell, gives your partner courage to boost his or her defense. Ain't that something? Alright, so we should have 2 power blocks, 2 fire flowers, and a mushroom. And let's buy one more item. Let's buy the Courage Shell. Let's buy one more item, that way I can show off that you get an item when you get a certain amount of points. You saved up 10 points, you earned yourself another mushroom. Congrats. And let's go ahead and store the Courage Shell. That'll be relevant later. Actually, I probably should get 4 more, because that's relevant for a quest. But I can do that later on. So we got 2 power blocks, 2 mushrooms, and 2 fire flowers. I think that's going to be pretty good. So we're done here. Let's go ahead and move on. I don't want to waste you guys' time too much. Okay, so this guy over here. I am General White. I am up above, and I have lost my hopes and dreams. I live in solitude always. I must apologize, but I ask that you leave me alone. Happy to do that, but you guys out there, I want to keep an eye on that General White. And this NPC, completely optional, you don't have to talk to him, but... Ah, bonjour, mademoiselle. It is a beautiful day, no? No, not you, Monsieur Moustache. I am speaking to the lovely little cabbage behind you. What do you say, my pretty? Abandon this dollar and come away with moi. Ew, are you kidding? Ew, nice wig, you disco wannabe. Take a hike, Bozo the dork. Oh, sacre bleu! Such blue honesty, such a sharp tongue. Well, I retreat for now. If you change your mind, Sherry, come find me. What a total sleaze. Let's go somewhere else, Mario. Ah! I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. That guy, I don't think that guy ever gets a name, but he shows up in some other towns down the line. There's also these Toad sisters. I think they're supposed to be a successor of the Toad sister trio from the original game. I don't care. There's an interesting looking female could be there. There's a badge there, but we can't get it right now. Let's go to these bushes, examine them all, because... Oh, whoa, that is... Man, that leaf, it's called... This is a turtley leaf. A leaf found in Petalburg replenishes 3 fire points. I mostly got it because it's useful for cooking. Yes, there will be cooking. Yeah, anyway, let's go into the pink house, it's pretty obvious, and talk to the mayor. Mayor, Croup. I think his name is Croup.
Was that someone there? Who is who? What do you want from me? I know you're thieves! Thieves! Here to rob a defenseless old Koopa! Despicable! Despicable! Go on, do what you will, but as you can plainly see, there's nothing to steal here! Oh, I guess I have a little money. Take it, you fiends, and my antique shell, too. Just leave the photos of me and the missus. I can't do without those memories. What? Not thieves, you say? Well, what's your story then? Wait. You folks looking for crystal stars? Well, why didn't you pipe up before you idiot? We're just wasting time here. The crystal stars you say you're hunting. Wait, what did I hear about those dang things again? I got it. Hooktail. Hooktail's got what you're looking for. It's this enormous, ornery dragon. Eats folks, they say. You know Hooktail, right?
I don't know why they give the option, like, I may have heard the name. So we're just gonna say we saw a dragon.
Well, this Hooktail's brutal flyby snackings have all of us on pins and needles. So, are you reckless fools? I mean, are you gallant heroes off to rough it up? Yeah, sure, why not? This does sound promising. Why, if you could rid us of Hooktail, we'll shower you with gratitude and rewards, yes. Wait, what's that I hear? You'll accept no reward?
Let's just say we're probably gonna get a reward just from defeating the dragon, so, you know, no need to throw on an extra.
What an unselfish
Man, referring to Mario.
You're noble indeed. Yup, a good egg. Now, what did you say your name was again? Murphy? That's a fine name. Yes, a fine name indeed. Well now, Murphy. I appreciate that, Murphy. They are nice eyebrows.
I'm actually surprised he can see through them, to be honest.
Now, listen up. If you're intent on going to Hooktail's castle, find the secret pipe near this village. I don't know where it's at, but I know you need stone keys to use that pipe. Yes. The keys are somewhere in Shronk Fortress, just past the village. Get them first. Well then, Murphy, get going and take care of that Hooktail monster.
So in order to go to Shronk Fortress, well, we have to head east. Before we do that, though, I know you guys are curious.
Well, hello there. My name is Koopy-Koo. It's nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, that hat, those overalls, and that magnificent mustache. You're Mario, aren't you? I've heard tales of how strong you are. If you're here, that means you're going to challenge that monstrous Hooktail. Oh, if only Koops were as brave as you.
Koops. So we go into this house and get a load of this. It's Koops.
What did you say? You mean you're actually going to Hooktail's castle? I can't believe you dare challenge that behemoth. It eats people often. It's really none of my business, but it's one scary dragon, and that's no lie.
Yeah, sure, buddy. There's that. You're probably wondering why I went out of my way to talk to them. Why don't you just ruminate on that thought?
Oh, snap-a-rooney! We got an email!
Wait. You got an email and it's not my email? What? As you travel, you may receive email from people you've met on your journey. Oh, the mailbox SP. Of course. I told you Reaper's gonna come back. Okay, so we got an email from Frankly.
Hello, Mario. Working hard.
Professor Frankly here in e-form. It's highly likely you'll receive emails like this one while you're on your journey. So check your mail often and sift through it with the C-stick, which is kind of weird. I actually have nothing more to say than that. So I hope all goes well for you, and I look forward to getting more information on those crystal stars. Sometimes you get a picture. So this is a pretty good time to bring this up. In certain parts of the story, you only have one chance to tattle an enemy or a boss. It's usually a boss. If that happens that you don't tattle that one-time encounter, the page, the tattle page, will show up in Frankly's trash can, and it will look exactly like that. That's your hand. And this is RDM registration. We don't need to worry about that. I'm a little worried that we only have 3 item slots, but might be alright, hopefully. So let's double check our badges, and we're looking pretty good there. If you guys remember from my original Paper Mario playthrough, you may remember that I upgraded flower points first. We're gonna switch it up a little bit for the 1,000-Year Door, and I'll explain why when we level up, probably in like the very first enemy encounter we're about to come up to, if not the second one. Like I said, you don't need to worry because I'm probably gonna keep in most enemy encounters, because again, they go by very quick. I mean, if I cut one out at this point in the game, it's probably only gonna save like 10 seconds, like whatever.
Excuse me, I beg your pardon. Wait a moment. Please!
And then we get Koops again. Alright. Oh, that was a timely jingle there.
Pardon me for yelling like that. I was panicking. How to begin? My name's Coops. I heard you're traveling to Tails Castle. So anyway, I have a favor to ask. Yes. Oh, just forget it. Never mind. Ignore me. Goodbye.
Okay, that was weird. What do you think that was all about? Talk about issues. Ugh.
Honestly, that was a bit mean-spirited from Goombella. Yeah, it seems like Koops is a pretty important character, huh? By the way, here's a star piece here. The only star piece in all of Schwank Fortress. Which includes the path to Schwank Fortress. We're not quite there yet. Okay? So, enemy encounter with Paragoomba, right? Probably just going to be 2 Paragoombas. Nope, we got a new enemy. Well, new for this game. Not for the series, not for the sub-series, or the main series. And hopefully we are going to level up after this. Okay, pretty good time. Koopa! Troopa! Let's go ahead and tackle this bad boy with those shaves that he's got. So yeah, these are pretty much similar to the Koopas from the original Paper Mario. There's a slight difference, though. That's a Koopa Troopa. They've been around forever. Gotta respect the longevity. Their shells are hard, but flip them over, and their defense drops to 0. Just like in the original. And you know how to flip them over, right? Just jump on their heads. Oh, it didn't go over the stats. Okay. 4 HP, 2 attack, which is twice as much as the original game where they only did 1. And, yeah, 1 defense. But, you just jump on them, and you can flip them over. There are multiple ways that you can flip enemies in this game. You can use jump. You can use a power block. I would recommend that if there's like several of them though, not just one. And there's also a third method that unfortunately I can't really talk about now because I don't have access to it. But we will get access to it early on in Chapter 2. And here we go. Our first level up opportunity. So let me crack my fingers here, crack my knuckles, or however the expression goes. And let's go over the stats for TTYD and why I think there's a bit of a difference in the value of these stats compared to the original. So in the original Paper Mario, your stats were capped at 50 HP, 50 flower points, and 30 badge points. That last one is very unfortunate. Good news, everyone! TTYD doesn't have a stat cap, it has a level cap. The level cap is 99. And yes, every single level you grow, you can upgrade a stat. You can get your badge points really high up, and you can even upgrade your HP or flower points, or even both, to the triple digits. However, this game was balanced that to the point where you'll probably reach your max capacity and not get star points from enemies anymore at around level 30 to 35-ish, depending. So, there isn't really a cap, but in a way there kind of is. Now then, HP, because of the fact you have access to the Super Guard, among other tools that will become available to you throughout the adventure, and the fact that Sweet Treat is better than Refresh, I think HP is a little less valuable in this game. Flower Points is just as valuable as it was, if not maybe even a little more so. But on the flip side, attacks and techniques in general have a higher cost in the 1,000-Year Door compared to the original Paper Mario. So the values are around the same, but it also has something to do with how the flower point economy has changed as well. However, now this is a glow up. Badge points, I think, are now the most important stat in the game. And that's why we're going to upgrade it first. I promise I'll upgrade flower points next time just so we can have the 10, 10, 10 on the menu that I like so much, and I'm sure plenty of you like that as well. But it is very important we get badge points up as soon as possible. And we're going to equip Close Call just because we can, and we have 2 extra because we're going to be getting more badges in this chapter. There's a few more badges we're going to be getting. And if we can equip all of them, another difference is that in TTYD, you will always get at least 1 star point from every battle. So even if you're in a battle where the enemies themselves don't give any star points, you will get 1 star point at the end of a battle. Because, again, your max level is 99, so they kind of have to do something. So, yeah, that's the breakdown on that. Again, I promise you guys, I will upgrade flower points next time, because it is still pretty important to do that. Because, again, flower points are basically just as valuable as they were in the previous game. It's just that technique costs more, etc., etc. And badge points, very important. Glad we dodged the poison mushroom there. Not that it's going to matter very much, you'll see why. I'm also going to go ahead and announce this now because I think it's better to say it earlier rather than later. When I first played this game, I did let my stats go up to like 50-ish because I did that in my first playthrough of the original Paper Mario. But I'm not going to be doing that. Over many playthroughs of this game, I have found what is the most comfortable HP and flower points for me to work with that also allows me to invest more into badge points. That number being, well, you'll see. You'll see. But I'll let you know that there is going to be a personal cap that I will be applying to HP and flower points. Badge points, though, the sky's the limit. Alright, so say hello to a bald cleft. I know it's pretty funny. In the original Paper Mario, there were enemies called clefts, which were rock creatures with spikes on them. And they were notorious for having high attack and high defense. This is a bald cleft, minus the spikes. It's basically a rock monster with a swarthy looking face. And this is Goobella's opinion.
This is kind of mean, but bald guys really just don't do it for me.
Wow, Goobella. Shallow much? Alright, so 2 HP, 1 attack, and 2 defense. The guy is rock solid because of the defense, but, yeah, you could use a power block, but we also have Piercing Blow. And I'm going to show this off now because the next mandatory enemy encounter won't allow us to do this. So yeah, there you go. Piercing Blow, 1-shots a bald cleft. Pretty tricky to super guard the cleft attacks, unfortunately. And yeah, I guess a power block will have less value now, but I don't have flower... Oh, well, I do have flower point recovery, but I don't want to use that up, so... I just wanted an excuse to show off Piercing Blow now, because I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to show it off at any other point in the chapter. Because you won't really need it, for the most part. Or if there's a situation where you think it's useful at this point in the game, it might actually be better to use Power Smash. The same FP cost and all that. So we took care of that. We'll go to the next session. Pretty good to have. It's pretty good to save time as well. Especially in the Let's Play. And in the Let's Play where I'm committed to actually keeping in enemy encounters in an RPG. But again, I think this is a pretty good exception to have. Like I said, battles, they do go by pretty quick. Usually. So examine every bush and hit every tree, and you'll get some item on a Koopa twice. And the second time usually didn't so much kill them, as it just turned them into a projectile. A very useful one at that. At any rate, second mandatory mini-boss encounter for Swamp Fortress, or Path to it, rather. This enemy, don't first strike it. You see it's an enemy with spikes, not only on the top, but on the sides as well. So let's go ahead and tattle the bristle. And yes, this is a brand new enemy, just like the Spinia. That's a bristle, totally covered in spikes. They are so prickly. 2 HP, only 1 attack, and 4 defense. And they're impervious to fire. I don't know if clefs are impervious to fire, but I wouldn't risk it. Even trying to get close enough to whack it with a hammer is dangerous. Seriously, its spikes will totally pop out. So since you can't jump on it or use your hammer, you'd better use an item. I agree, but I actually want to show off exactly what happens when you try to attack a bristle with your hammer. Don't even get a chance to pull it up. Alright. And pretty difficult to super guard the attacks. Anyway, we will let Goombella have the honor of using the power block here because she just got a pretty solid beating. Not really, because they only do 1 damage. It's like, whatever. So 14 star points, though. You get paid handsomely for these enemy encounters, I'm telling you. Also, the Bristle and the Bald Cleft, they are only fought 1 time each in this section. If you miss your chance to tattle them, the tattle log will show up in Frankly's trash can, just like I mentioned earlier. So it's pretty nice how they handle that. One could say it's a relief, you know, if you're a completion monk, as it were. That's not a big deal. This will give us a fire flower. Okay, I had a feeling, but better safe than sorry. This is an inn coupon. This lets you stay 1 free night at an inn. It's pretty useful, but I usually sell them because they're worth like 5 coins. It's usually a better value for me because the spear, when the spear guy was in that particular formation. Okay. What's going on here with Mario? Okay, so remember the heart blocks from Paper Mario? Well, for some reason, heart blocks cost money now. And I've never understood this. Frankly, I find it quite frustrating. Alright, let's examine this Thwomp statue. Oh. Whoa, hold up. Hold up. Oh, that ain't no Thwomp statue. You're the first contestant I've seen in a wildlife. If you've come all the way here to Thwomp Fortress, you must want stone keys. And if that's the case, then you must compete against me. That almost rhymed. If you win, I'll let you through to where the stone keys rest. However, if you lose, you will suffer a terrible fate. And by terrible, I mean awful. So, what do you want to do? I'll take you on. You're in for it now. Oh. Well, this is giving me war flashbacks. Quiz! Hey, ladies and germs! Welcome everybody to the 65th Super Fun Quirk Quiz! Perk up those ears! If you correctly answer 5 of the following questions, you win! But get 3 of them wrong and you'll suffer a cruel and unusual punishment! Now for the first question! What's hidden in this place? I like pickles. Is that your real answer? Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure that I like pickles, so I picked Pickle Stone. Alright. Wrong! Wrong? Excuse you. Pickles are delicious. Okay? Wrong, you fools! Remember, if you get 3 wrong, you're going to suffer like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Aha, don't let the pressure get to you. Quiz! On to the question 2. What do 1 Mr. Softener and 1 Fireflower cost at the shop in Petalburg? Total. Look, I like math, so I'm going to throw you bonus, say 16 points. Because they were 8 coins apiece. That's correct! That question was too easy, but it only gets harder from here. Much harder. So prepare yourself. Quiz! Moving on. Question 3. What is the name of the mayor of Petalburg? Oh, it's actually been a while. I'm tied between croup and couscous. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Couscous sounds funnier. And this game is trying to be funny. Thus... Oh. I guess that was wrong. You blithering meathead! Haha! You're wrong! Again! Get 1 more wrong and something wonderfully awful happens to you! Just 1 more wrong! That's right, I hear! Your little knees knocking...
We're not done yet, folks. Question 4. Tell me now, where is the Crystal Star?
Oh, I remember. It's in Hooktail Castle. Because this game is all about the Hooktail, right? Hey, I got another one correct. I'm like 2 and 2 right now.
Arr! That's correct. That question was too easy, but it only gets harder from here. So prepare yourself. Quiz. Are you ready for the diabolical question 5? How can one get from Petal Meadows to Roadport?
Dang, racing in a cart sounds cool. A boat across the sea, only by air, but sadly, you go through a pipe. I think that's 3 correct and 2 wrong. Yeah.
That question was too easy, etc., etc. On to question 6. Which of the following creatures have hands?
Are you serious? There we go. That's 4 correct and 2 wrong.
Right again. Tell me you didn't just get your 4th right answer. It can't be true. That's it. I'm making the rest of these near impossible. Get ready for brain pain.
Isn't this literally like the last possible question you can do?
What number question is this?
Super question 64. Wrong, Garuni. Alright, so I intentionally wanted to get 3 wrong answers, and you guys are probably very confused. This is what happens when you get all wrong answers. You don't get a game over, obviously, or I wouldn't have done it. You get to fight 4 clefs. And now, I know what else you might be wondering. Why are the clefs in black and white? Unfortunately, you're going to have to wait till the next chapter to find out. But, let's go ahead and title these guys now so we don't have to do it later. Why not? That's a cleft. A rockhead jerk with spikes on his noggin? What a rocker. A cleft is like an indent in some people's chins, in case you didn't know. Max HP is 2, attack is 2, defense is 2. Same stats as the original Paper Mario. That hard hit is a major pain. Fire doesn't hurt it, but other types of items are pretty effective, usually. If nothing seems to work on it, you can always just run. I don't think that's an option here. This is a mandatory encounter because we messed up. But this is why I bought an extra POW block. Speaks for itself, doesn't it? And yeah, 24 star points. Easy. Didn't even get hit once. Well, what? It can't be. How did you defeat my cute little clefs? Ah! Fine, whatever. You can pass. But I despise you. Well, I mean, the one guy wasn't exactly the most pleasant in the world. All he accomplished was reminding me of the hell that was Chuck Quizmo from Paper Mario. I'm glad that's the only time we're going to have to do a quiz in the 1,000-Year Door. Anyway, multi-bounce badge. Let's go ahead and equip this sucker right away. Sort it out. Mostly equipping it just because the badge points are there. Let's also sort out our items, but, multi-bounce is another one of those badges that isn't going to be that great right now, but will be much better throughout the progress of the game. And here we're reintroduced to another returning enemy from the original Paper Mario. Let's go ahead and title the Fuzzy, which is an enemy that originated from Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's a Fuzzy. What a hyper little guy, huh? Cut back on the caffeine. Hey, don't talk smack about caffeine. That gets me going. Max HP is 3, attack is 1, defense is 0. Those things suck up your HP and use it to replenish their own. Isn't that the worst? I mean, ew, does that just sound totally gross? Anyway, guard against them by pressing A the moment they release you. The timing is pretty hard to master, so practice up. These things really suck HP. You can super guard the Fuzzy, but it is very difficult. And of course, I'm going to attempt to do just that. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah! Got it! Okay, let's do it again. Oh, I didn't get it that time, dang. I got one super guard just to show it off to you guys, so I think I'm not going to push my luck. Of course I'm going to push my luck. What am I talking about? I am not going to use a multi-bounce again. It is pretty useful for the fuzzies, because they have 3 HP, so you can use, like... Hold up. Okay, regular guard there. You can do regular attack on 2 of them to knock them down to 1 HP. Guard their attack, and then you use multi-bounce to finish off 2 fuzzies for 2 flower points, which isn't a terrible deal, to be honest. Alright, I want to try and avoid the next fuzzy in case it gives me like a cruddy encounter of only like 2 or 3. Because we're going to go over here and grab the sunstone. Obviously on the other side we're going to have another stone because these are the stone keys. Oh, that fuzzy has a sleepy sheep. Don't care. Fire flower. Just like in the original game, fire flowers are really good for fuzzies. Especially when they show up in groups. And the reason I didn't want to level up at the previous one is because you'll get more experience if there are more enemies on the field. And we also got that boost from the clefs. That really helped. So as promised, we're upgrading flower points, and now we have 10, 10, 10, and 6. The next stat I will upgrade will be badge points again, and then HP. Kind of true and kind of not. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not. But yeah, in the first chapter of Thousand Year Door, there's a lot of throwbacks. And, but this is mostly at first. As you go through the game and you go through the different chapters, it's a little bit different. Okay, so I actually have a spare fire flower. I'm going to use it here. I know it's a little wasteful, but fire flowers only cost 8 coins at the Petalburg's shop, so... And fuzzies still give pretty okay experience, so that's pretty good. I think the fuzzy we passed, I am going to off-screen that one just because, you know, I think you've seen enough fuzzies. I said I'd be keeping most, not all. So this is a mandatory encounter. We will leave it in, but... I mean, one and done either way, so doesn't really matter if I cut this out or not. This is like a 10-second fight at most. We do get 12 star points again. That's pretty nice. I guess it wouldn't have mattered if I had skipped it or not. Alright, we're going to cut through this, and I will see you guys in a second. Alright, and... Oh, what's this guy?
Me, hey, you suspicious type. This is our place. And coming in here is rude. Rude. Sorry, suckers. If you want to work, welcome. Too bad. Now I'll lunch on your head.
Alright, so this is a gold fuzzy. I know it's kind of random, but apparently this guy is the guardian of the Shuang Fortress. Apparently. So let's go ahead and tattle, because it's the only time you get to do this. That's a gold fuzzy. Whoa, those are super rare. Seriously. Max HP is 10, which is 2 less than the blooper. Attack is 1. But hey, this fuzzy doesn't even suck up your HP. It just does like a tackle attack of some sort. Maybe more of a body slam. Maybe more like the Fuzzy Pede from Paper Mario. I don't know. But look at it. It's so gaudy. Yeah, it's pretty hard for it to hide if it's that bright and colorful, I guess. You could do a power jump or a power smash. But let's do a regular attack at first. Just so we can see it do a regular attack. Fairly easy to super guard, too. And, oh, I guess that irritated him.
Hey, ow. You chumps are tougher than you look. But I'm not through yet. Everyone, get 'em!
Now that I think about it, I think the fuzzies in the original Paper Mario could talk, too. I don't know if this is that special. But the gold fuzzy will summon a fuzzy horde. Yes, that's the name of the enemy, fuzzy horde. Can't remember if I'm going to save this POW block for something. I'm tempted to just use it because Goombella would just do 2 attack anyway, so, you know. You can tattle the fuzzy... I think you can tattle the fuzzy horde. I might have to check that, but the fuzzy horde does not have its own tattle log entry, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and power smash the fuzzy horde. And you don't even have to kill the fuzzy horde. You can just like... You can even super guard, but there's no point. So, yeah, the fuzzy horde, you don't have to drain all of its HP. Oh, you can tattle the fuzzy horde? Well, let's see what happens when you do that. I bet it's just going to show up the fuzzy. Oh, it's a fuzzy horde. Look at them all. What a mob scene. It's crazy. Max HP is 20, attack is 1. Fuzzies come at you all at once and attack in order. It says here not to freak out. It also says that if you use good timing to defend, you won't take much damage. That's true. I'm thinking it might just be faster to whip the ringleader though, you know? That's interesting. I'm pretty sure there is no title log entry, like, in your menu. Huh. So did I just inadvertently show off something obscure? That'd be pretty cool. Alright, knock it down to 10 HP. So all you gotta do, you get 8 star points. And I keep super guarding this guy. So why don't we go ahead and finish him off with a power smash, because you know how we're gonna finish it off. Woohoo! Wow! Oh my god, 20 star point yield! Let's go! Alright, so we're gonna be in pretty good position for the next episode, EXP wise, I think. Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Last time we kicked off Chapter 1 and made our way through up until the Schwamp Fortress and obtained some keys that will be necessary for us to meet with the infamous dragon, as this chapter is known as Castle and Dragon. But before that, excuse me, it's Mario. Right, look, see, the thing is, I've been waiting here in the hope of getting to speak with you. I have to ask you something, and you can say no, but I'm going to throw it out there. See, I was wondering, would you... Oh, please take me with you to fight Hooktail, please, I'm begging you! Ooh, that spooked Mario quite a bit. Sorry about that. See, my dad, he went off to battle Hooktail long ago, but he never came back. I miss him, of course. I miss him badly, but this isn't just about avenging my dad. Well, no, that's not true. Revenge is a part of it, I guess. A big part. But the truth is, I want to finish what Dad started. For his sake. For everyone's sake. Man, this is embarrassing. See, everyone always says I'm a crybaby. A weakling. But if I can defeat Hooktail, well, I won't be those things. I'll be strong. Like my dad. I know it'll be dangerous, but I still want to go. Please, Mario. Sure, come along. For real? No kidding? Yes, thank you so much. You won't regret this. I'm sure we won't. So we're starting this episode off with a new party member. Say hello to Koops. Well, we got a sample of him in the last episode, but, you know, specifics. Specifics and semantics. So Koops is... Well, first of all, if you played the original, were you guys watching? Fans of Kooper? I know I was. Koops is basically the successor to Kooper. So yeah, there you go. You push the X button and you shoot out the shell for long-range shenanigans. But Koops has his own special kind of trick. He can hold himself in place and release the shell attack, which does make his overworld movement a lot more dynamic and interesting than Kooper's. Sorry, Kooper, but Koops does have the edge in this regard. As far as battling capabilities are concerned, Koops is more or less the same as how Kooper was when Kooper started out. That being, Shell Toss will target the enemy in the front of a formation, and Power Shell costs 3 flower points to deal 2 damage to all enemies on the ground. And yes, defense is a factor. Okay, Mario, let's get going. Why no, won't we? Koops. Oh boy, here we go. Zoinks! Oh, golly, hi, Koopy, Koopy Koo. Did you overhear all that? Well, a part of it, Koops. I thought I heard you say you're off to fight Hooktail. But you're joking, right? I mean, you're not exactly a powerhouse. He'll eat you up.
I know, Koopy-Koo, but I want to be tougher, for you. So I have to do this. No, Koops, you don't. I mean, going off to some dangerous place, it's stupid. So what if you're timid and sort of a crybaby? I don't care about all that. I just want you to be you. So don't go. Sorry, Koopy-Koo. I've made up my mind. No need to worry, though. After all, I'm traveling with Mario. He's the man. Fine, ignore me. Stubborn Koopa. I'm sorry, Koopy-Koo. I swear to you, I will come back to you a stronger Koopa. Well, Mario, that's that, I guess. No turning back. Hooktail's castle awaits. Yes, it does. Koops will start with the same amount of HP as Goombella, but since he is a Koopa, he has 1 defense point. But also, he is susceptible to being flipped over by enemy attacks that count as a jump. So, basically, all of the Goomba-type attacks will apply here. Now, since Koops can only attack enemies on the ground, instead of having Goombella as a backup, you'll kind of have to use Mario as a multitasker. In that, if you need to double down on ground offenses, you can do that. And if you need to go for the air, unfortunately, Koops isn't going to help very much. Now, as far as I know, it is impossible to have quick change before this chapter starts. But let me check my star piece count real quick. Okay, we do have exactly 8 star pieces now. So there is some merit in going back to see Dazzle and getting the quick change badge. But unfortunately, in this game, quick change costs 7 badge points, which we do not have enough for. So it's like barely on the cusp, but at the same time, this is only our 2nd party member, and I recommend keeping Koops for the majority of the rest of the chapter anyway. So, no big deal, no skin off our nose. We go into this pipe, and we can use Koops' Shell Toss ability to get the Happy Heart badge. You can get one from Dazzle, but obviously if you can find one for free, why not? You are probably wondering what happens if you decide to equip multiple. Wait, what the hell? I didn't see a Goomba there. A pretty good time to show off a Power Shell. And there we go. Now, yeah, still a lot of experience to get from Goombas. We're getting close to a level up, so when we first enter the castle coming up here, I might be avoiding a few enemy encounters, but only so my experience doesn't go to 100 quite yet. I have a reason for this, and I'll go over that when that becomes relevant, which will be fairly quickly. Let's insert the Sunstone here, and the Moonstone over here. So we're going to have our first real instance of taking advantage of Koops' ability to hold his shell in place. It's very incredible. So at least from an overworld perspective, by the way, there we go. I had to listen for the sound effect. From an overworld perspective, Koops is an objective improvement over Kooper. In terms of battle, I think it might be a little bit more contentious when you get into upgrades. Because I already mentioned that Merlin is in charge of upgrading your party members, so I don't have to be secretive about that anymore. So, we're entering Castle Hooktail. I think it's Hooktail Castle. I mean, we're about to find out in a minute, because we're going to get the usual introductory scroll here in a minute. We get a little overview of the castle. Yeah, Hooktail Castle. There you go. Yeah, this is episode 3 Potter, ladies and gentlemen. The first dungeon and the end of the first chapter. Oh man, Hooktail Castle. The stories were all true. This place is terrifying. Zoinks! I actually kind of thought maybe I was going to go with a Shaggy impression for like the entirety of it, but considering Koops isn't going to stay cowardly for the entire run, probably not a good idea. By the way, HP Plus badge, you can get that with Koops. You can also get it later with another party member you obtain later on, which is okay because if you're going for 100%, you actually are going to have to return here
Multiple times. And yes, I'm paying 6 coins to recover 3 flower points. I have a good reason for this. Also, we are going to swap back to Goombella temporarily because there's going to be a new enemy to tattle right when we enter the dungeon, the castle proper. And I'm going to try and be very careful here because I think I only want at most 2 enemy encounters here, but 1 is probably safer. So we enter here and we see. Oh, we don't want to miss with that one. We don't want to. We want to miss this. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So you know there's a Goomba, and you know there's the Paragoomba. Say hello to the Paratroopa. So Paratroopas are basically Koopa Troopas that have wings. They fly in the air. It's a Koopa Paratroopa. It's basically a Koopa Troopa with wings. Max HP is 4, attack is 2, and defense is 1. Goombella hates that the guy has to fly. Of course, you can stomp on him and he'll plunge down and be a plain Koopa Troopa. Yeah, do that, and it should be all hunky-dory. Looks like you can still wiggle around a bit. Yes, that is indeed true. Would have been nice to have another POW block here, actually, but we should be fine. So, Paratroopas are harder than regular Koopas in the sense that if you do a double jump on them, they will flip over when they land on the ground, sure. But just doing one jump won't be enough to flip them over. Fairly tricky super guard, but I honestly think that super guarding the Paratroopa is slightly easier than trying to super guard the regular Koopa shell toss attack. Believe it or not, I know it might seem weird. Alright, you're probably wondering why I'm not using power jump here as well. That is because I want to preserve my flower points for an upcoming mandatory enemy encounter. It's going to be a mini-boss fight. Spoiler. I mean, you probably already ascertained that, but I am basically confirming it for you at this point. We're also going to we're actually going to swap back the Koops. Actually, I think the game will force you to swap back the Koops, so it's not really a big deal. But we do want to start the next mandatory enemy encounter with Goombella, and then immediately swap back to Koops for the remainder of it, because that's going to be pretty important. Because obviously, you just now get Koops as a party member, and the game wants you to use him for a while. Goombella will still have her uses, besides tattling, in Castle Hooktail here. I prefer calling it Castle Hooktail for some reason. So yeah, you get 9 star points because the Paratroopers are like 1 level or 1 grade above the regular Koopas. Oh my god, this is problematic. Oh my god, let's get the Powerhouse badge. I like that they changed it from pinkish purple to blue, because blue is my favorite color. Oh my god, let's get out of here, because I'm at 98 star points. That is close to exactly where I want to be. Okay, 3 mushrooms, 1 honey syrup, good. Let's go ahead and organize our badges. We can unequip Close Call and equip Happy Heart, which I recommend for the upcoming fight, especially for the method that I'm about to do, and I'll swap the Koops for convenience sake, because there's a little exchange that's about to happen. Oh no! What's going on here? These bones, they remind me of my father. There's no doubt about it. It's my father! Dead! It almost sounds like dead. Someone let her off. Wait, what's this? Mario! My father's clutching some kind of letter. Or at least his, bones are. Ugh. So, what should I do? Should I read it? Yeah, you probably should. Okay. I can do this. I'll read it. I mean, right? I came to this castle to destroy Hooktail, but I am stuck in... no further. So in this letter I shall note Hooktail's weaknesses for those who follow. Yes. The dread Hooktail cannot tolerate creatures that begin with Cur and end with Icket. You're gonna get in the thicket, aren't you? Hidden somewhere in this castle is an item related to Hooktail's weakness. If one is to have any hope of defeating Hooktail, one must first find that item. This is actually not completely true, but that's the point. One last thing, faced with ultimate doom, the fiend will use a trick to save itself. If you hope to defeat it, do not give in to your kinda nature and fall.
fine strokes. Alas, I do not have the strength to continue writing. Already mist veils my eyes. My last words go to my son, Colorado. I love you, and I'm proud of who you've become.
Huh? My son, Colorado? Not Coops?
Coops! Oops!
I just realized Coops rhymes with oops. Oh my god. This is why Cooper's actually a cooler name. Anyway, yeah, I guess this isn't my father after all. But if this isn't my father, I wonder if that pile of bones over there is my dad. Oh yeah, well, now we want to swap to Goombella, because we don't want to have to waste a turn in battle swapping party members. How is this pile of bones in any way related to Coops? This looks like one of these dry bones got stained in ketchup. Which makes me a little hungry.
You clearly don't value your lives much. If you've come to this castle to disturb us, you will go no farther. From this moment on, you'll be nothing but bones.
Yeah, so this is a pretty interesting technical showcase for the game, having all of these enemy sprites on screen at the same time.
Gosh, what's with these numbskulls? Ow! Ow! Watch it, Pushy! They're shoving me around, Mario. What should we do?
Hammer them away, obviously. Unfortunately, you can't get a first strike on this enemy. Okay, so say hello to the red bones and the dull bones. Not dry bones, dull bones. Very big difference here. So let's go ahead and tattle. That's a dull bones. Sort of a skeleton thing. It was a Koopa Troopa. Once. Max HP is 1, attack is 2, and defense is 1. However, these enemies cannot be flipped over. These creeps throw bones to attack, and they can build reinforcements. That's a very important point. Attacks that can strike multiple dull bones at once are the most effective. Thinking about it, I probably should have done that before the tattle because I don't have a Palwa or Fire Flower. Put most of those in storage. But this should be alright. And multi-bounce isn't going to do anything either. So let's take care of the first dull bones in line and get 3 to 4 star points. Oh, it's 4. All I can say to that is good. So dull bones do 2 damage, and the red bones does 3. If you super guard the bones, you take no damage, but it doesn't like deflect back the projectile, as it were. Okay, so we're gonna swap the Koops and use Power Shell. Don't worry about killing the red bones prematurely. The red bones has 5 HP, so that's gonna be all right. And the red bones is capable of regenerating dull bones, and the dull bones can regenerate into each other. Okay, now we swap back to Goombella and tattle the red bones. We're good now. And after this, after you've tattled the dull bones and the red bones, you don't need to use Goombella in this match, or this fight, anymore. That's the red bones. A little too red, I think. No fashion sense, Max HP is 5, attack is 3, and defense is 1. It's a very worthy mini-boss fight. Unlike your average dull bones, even if you pound it to 0 HP and it crumbles, it totally might revive like a zombie. So you are going to have to make sure that the red bones is the last one to go down in order to finish this fight. And that is a trait that is true of most dry bone enemies in the Paper Mario series. It's a good thing we are swapping Goombella into Koops. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait out all this and let the red and dull bones continue to regenerate more dull bones. That way, I can get 100 star points from this encounter, which will enable me to level up, and then I will be back at 98 star points, and I will be able to level up again in the next enemy encounter. It's going to take a while, so I'm just going to jump cut straight to when we get to around... Okay. Alright, so we're back, and the red bone is at 2 HP. I'm going to use Power Shell here. It's not going to kill it, but this is going to bring us to 80 star points. Okay. So I wanted to jump cut to here because I actually want to go over some strategies you can use to get the maximum amount of star points from this fight. So first of all, you want to wait for the bone enemies, all of them, to accumulate. And you do this by passing the time by defending. In the original Paper Mario, you could skip turn, do nothing. And that was, I guess you could say, that the defend command essentially replaces that. Even though in execution it's obviously much more impactful. So I think it's disrespectful to even associate them in the same kind of category. So I'm going to try my best to wait until there's all 4 or 5 accumulated, but I think maybe with just 3 and the red bones, it might be enough to get us in good shape for a quick back-to-back level up. Okay, I think this is enough. I've already gone over the basic strategy of how to maximize your star points. So we're going to get 12 from the dull bones, which will bring us to 92. And hopefully the red bones can carry us the rest of the way. So, bada bing, bada boom. And I really love the stylish command for Koops' Power Shell. Oh, that did bring us to 100. Neato! Neato Toledo, alright. So I think in this game, when you level up, only the active party member gets recovered, which is a shame because Goombella took a lot of abuse during that fight. Okay, we're going to upgrade badge points here, and then in the very next level up we do, I will be upgrading HP to 15. If I was playing for myself, I probably would delay that HP upgrade, but I do want to set a pretty good example for all of you watching at home. Or on your phone or whatever. So first enemy encounter right after that boss encounter is going to be 4 dull bones. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm not going to do a stylish to save a few seconds here. Bam! 12 star points. Already another level up, and we're already 10 star points into the next one. And in this game, bosses will usually cap out at 30 star points. All of them do. It's just unlike the original where there was some variance. So yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade HP to 15, and we won't have to worry about upgrading HP for quite a while after this. Yeah, it'll be nice to have a little more HP, to have security if I want to experiment with super guards and whatnot. You got a Shine Sprite. You need to collect these to upgrade via the better choice. For better, for worse. So, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but when we get to Chapter 2, Koops may lose a little bit of prominence, unfortunately. So here we have a puzzle that will take advantage of Koops' ability to hold his shell in place, as it were. We're also going to have him hit the purple switch, because by doing so, we come up here and we get a star piece. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's about 5 or 6 star pieces to collect here in the castle, so there's actually another one nearby. But this one is going to be a little tricky, so I may need some silent time for this one. Basically, you need to get on this yellow block, have Koops hit the yellow switch, and jump to that platform over there. This is a lot easier with the party member you get later on, but it is doable here. I'm going to attempt it. Okay, just barely made it. Yeah, it is very tight timing. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was intended that you have to come back with that later party member to get that star piece. But no, it is completely possible to do it now. I shouldn't have made the yellow block go back, because you're supposed to not have it there in order to hit the switch over it. Yeah. That's how that works. God, all this commentary making my throat dry over here. At any rate, Koops is used to get this key, cancel key, and then we hit the switch again, and you won't have to flip the staircase page, kind of. You don't have to flip that page anymore. We're done with that. The yellow block can stay where it is, too, and honestly, probably the purple one as well, just for the sake of it. So we will unlock this door and head to the next area. And next on the list, we should go to the right. Because over here is going to be some pretty important progress. Let's take care of this. The Troopas are not far behind, but any Goomba enemies you run into in the 70, because the boss of this chapter, gee, I wonder what it could be, will give us 30. So, now that we have our HP at 15, we can unequip the Happy Heart, and let's equip the power balance. And these are all the badges we have access to, actually. I guess we can equip the Happy Heart anyway, because HP Plus and Power Bounce are the most notable badges you get. Besides the badge right over there, but that costs 0 badge points. Spoiler alert. So, we're going to have to hover in place for a little bit longer, activate the switch, and we'll just go on through. Let's ignore that black chest for now, and go through here. Keep this area in mind, because it's pretty important. And there's this crack in the wall. You're probably wondering, can't do nothing about that now. Well, you might be able to do something with it later on in the game. Let's go ahead and collect another black key. I think you know where this is going. And, oh, it was booby-trapped. So, we're going to have to escape this room with a spike ceiling, and, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, we do have to go by the crack. You know, do try to keep that in mind, because by the time it becomes relevant, it's very reliable, you'll forget about it, and it's totally understandable, because it's a pretty obscure secret. At any rate, we got the black key under our belt. That was too close. We gotta shake it off, you know. And we use it on this black chest, and we're gonna have a repeat of what happened a couple episodes ago. What the heck? Hey, guest! It's been a long time since anyone came here. A real long time, actually. Uh-huh. You heard me? Wow. Wait a sec. If you can hear my voice, you must be some legendary hero or something. Or not. To be honest, I'm sure anyone with ears can hear me. But it sure is fun zinging people with that whole legendary hero thing. Hey, but seriously, folks, I was wondering if you could let me out of this chest. I've been locked in here so long, I'm starting to cramp up like you would not believe. All you have to do is find the key and let me out. Easy, right? Huh? What do you mean? You think you'll be cursed if you open the box? Ridiculous. Who would do that? Really? Wait in a box and curse folks. A real slime ball, that's who. But I'm not a real slime ball, and I would do no such thing. That should be obvious. Look, if you help me out, maybe I'll help you out. You know, a little I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Except in reverse order. Also, what? Of course, you don't have to if you really don't want to. Like, finding a key is hard. It really isn't. I would think not in a castle. Hey there! Boy, I am so glad you found that key. Unbelievable! Whee! Fools! Don't you just love these bait and switches?
Why, only the most idiotic, pudding-brained adult would fall for a scheme like that. The castle's traps prevent anyone who's entered this place from ever leaving it. No matter which path you take, you're fated to waste away to a slow, painful end. But wait, there's more to this great deal. I'll throw in a free curse. No charge. Oogie googly boo. Whee! Now you're cursed, doofus, and it serves you right. This curse is more cursedly curse-worthy than any curse that's ever cursed you. For this curse makes you like a piece of paper when you press and hold R, matey. Whee! What a curse. Who curses like me? No one. Now I show you just how frightful a curse it is. Go on and press and hold R. Press and hold R now.
And you actually do have to hold it until the game forces you out of it. I was stuck on that first when I played the game. I thought you just had to, like, do it quickly, but no, it wouldn't be good enough.
Whee! Just look at yourself. How embarrassing for you. Eat a sandwich, skinny. You understand what this curse means for you?
Yes.
Then farewell, you dumbbells. Whee!
Alright, well, this is the second time that's happened, but we're not going to see a repeat performance of that for a while. Implying there's going to be a repeat performance. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't be. I'm not going to confirm or deny either way. Anyway, let's go ahead and equip that badge because it's free. And also because it'll make the chapter boss easier and faster but it is not impossible to defeat the chapter boss without that badge equipped. And I would show that off if this wasn't a Let's Play and I was trying to keep a good pace. And if you're wondering, maybe a bonus video, I doubt it. I don't know. All I'm going to suggest is that you do that on your own time, and I wish you luck. When we get to the boss, though, I will most likely be able to go over that strategy. Alright, we return back to the room with the red bones to get a key, and keep that location in mind because it may or may not have some more secrets to it during a potential bonus video, I would say. So we backtrack a little bit. So far in this game, between the last episode and this one, you may have already observed a little bit of the backtracking. Yeah, that's going to be a real running theme in this game. And if you think it's bad now, oh boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. But we're not there yet. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. The minimal to no backtracking. So let's go ahead and enter here using our key. You have access to another block here, 6 coins. I think for only 4 flower points, I'll pass. And yes, I know you see what I see. Another star piece. Oh yes, that is what I see. Take advantage of Koops to hit the switch on the other side of the gap. And then we'll go through this window. And being lazy, we can use Koops to get the star piece. And save, like, maybe 1 second. There you go, speedrunners. That ought to make your day. Although, not sure if there is a 100% speedrun of 1000-Year Door. I'm not even sure if that's like a Koops, as it were. And get flower points where we can. Defeat enemies where you can, too. I guess. So, another situation, we hold Koops in place. Use the block to go up here. And uppity up we go. Let's go ahead and take care of this Paragoomba. And multi-bounce can still flip over enemies, which can be good. Down to 1, so it's fortunate. Drop down here and go through here, and we get a life shroom. Restores 10 HP when Mario or his partner fall, which can either be a buff or a nerf, depending on how you look at it, because it means that your life shroom will be blown on a party member, instead of just being able to swap them out when they get the 0 HP. Alright, here we go. Say hello to Ms. Mouse.
Huh? Oh my, who's this handsome piece of cheese? I can't believe there are other thieves here besides me. How very strange.
Hey, who are you?
Me? Why, I'm Miss Mouse, the globe-trotting thief. Heard of me, sweetie? I heard there were rare and valuable badges here in this castle. That is why I'm here. But the real question is, why are people like you roaming in such a rundown place?
Well, you see, we're here to beat Hooktail and get the, Crystal Star. So, don't think we'll let you get the Crystal Star first, no matter how cute you are.
Crystal Star, you say? I didn't know a thing like that was hidden in this castle. Sounds intriguing. Perhaps I just heard something you didn't want me hearing.
Darn!
Oh, but that's okay. I mean, you were looking for this Crystal Star first. And I already found the badge I was after. So I'll let you get your Crystal Star.
Well, thank God, right?
Imagine. Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
It means I must say bye-bye for now, Mr. Cutie. I know, it's sad. We just met, and already it is time to say farewell. Alas.
Oh my, you're so bold. Is that legal?
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a little secret to share with you. Somewhere in this castle is a badge that'll help you best Hooktail. Or so I've heard. I don't know what kind of badge it is. Maybe you found it already. Maybe not. If you're going to fight Hooktail, I'd recommend finding that badge first. Well, take care, handsome mustache man. Let's get together again real soon. Cha-cha! I wonder what her story is. I bet it's an interesting one, full of romance. Sure. Anyways, second Shine Sprite. And you also get Castle Key, Mushroom, and a Honey Syrup. And we don't need the Honey Syrup right now. I was thinking about it, but we're not going to need it right now. Alright, we took care of the Mushroom situation, so we can just go straight through here. Alright. So this room is going to have a few more enemy encounters. It's going to be mostly of the dull bone variety, in order to be able to level up after the chapter boss. Again, gee, I wonder what it could be back after doing a tattle, but we do want to swap back the Koops. There should be one more enemy encounter here with the dull bones, and I'm not sure if it's going to be doable, though. That's kind of the problem. By the way, the badge we got, the red attack FX badge, is going to make your hammer and jump attacks sound like a cricket. Because that is what Hooktail is weak against, apparently. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. Hooktail is weak to crickets. A freaking massive, gigantic dragon scared of crickets. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. By the way, there's another star piece there. I didn't really comment on it, but I collected it, so there you go. Let's go over here and go through the door. Before we go up, there's a badge you can get here, and also a key. So we get this key first. Very important. Jump down and last stand P, which I believe was a badge we saw in the badge shop. Here's the problem, though. Now we gotta backtrack all the way we just did. See you guys in a few minutes. And we're right back where we were. Not too bad. Also went ahead and took care of the enemies that I skipped earlier at the start of the castle to get a few extra star points. Hopefully, between that and the enemy encounters we got coming up, we'll have enough to get to 70 before the boss fight. That brings us to 3 Shine Sprites. So now we're at 12 star pieces and 3 Shine Sprites. So I guess it was 4 star pieces in Castle Hooktail? Alright then, so let's forge on ahead towards the top here. It's just 2 Goombas of any kind. We are good. Actually, I'm going to keep... No, I'll swap the Koops. And then swap back to Goombella after. That way we'll have Goombella at the start of the boss fight. Is how we should go about it. And I will save before the boss fight. Okay? And if I change my mind to do a bonus video where I try to fight the boss, Hooktail, without the badge, we're good to go to level up right after the boss fight. Take your guesses on what I will be upgrading after the boss fight. It's probably pretty obvious, but, you know. Gotta keep you guessing. We are down 7 flower points, so I will indeed take advantage of the heart block. We will save, don't worry, I have a backup in case something happens here. And let's go ahead and double check our badges, actually. Sort items, sort badges, because we did get the last stand P. This is probably about as good as you're going to get. If you want to try and fight Hooktail without the badge, I would recommend equipping HP Plus instead of, like, multi-bounce and other things like that. Now, we're going in with Power Bounce, so that's going to be pretty deadly, as you will come to find out. Alright, so here we go. Who dares approach me? Oh god, I don't even know if I should even try to do this, because I think I'm going to throw my throat out or something when I try to do this. How about we just talk about the presence of Hooktail? And I like the fact that they designed Hooktail in a way where it's like an origami, which is really funny because the latest Paper Mario game, as of the recording of this commentary, is actually Paper Mario the Origami King, which is funny. You know. But the way that Hooktail is designed is kind of like that. Look, it's like solid paper almost, while every other character is basically just
a piece of paper. You know, technically a sprite, an not HD, sorry, a high resolution sprite, but still. And this was true in the original Paper Mario as well. Hooktail is a straight up model, though. I mean, the textures are probably paper-like, but the model may as well be 3D-ish, at least. Snack time, little appetizers. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't. So let me swap to Goombella and let's get the tat off the way. Thankfully, don't have to do any more voice like that. This is Hooktail. Number 99. Interesting. 20 HP, 5 attack, and 1 defense. This is what you'd be dealing with if you didn't equip the badge. And it'll stop and munch on you. It has more dragonish attack. Fiery Breath, which attacks both party members for 5 damage. And it doesn't really care about Koops' defense, I'm pretty sure. The Fire Breath attack, I mean, so... Yeah, Hooktail also has a Stomp attack that will target one party member. So, let's use Power Bounce. So, So the first jump attack will do no damage, but if you have the badge that makes the cricket sound, defense drops to 0, the attack drops to like 1 or 2, something like that. Hooktail's attack gets nerfed a lot. Let's just say that much. And we get the Fire Breath attack. You can guard it. Oh, I guess it is 1 damage. Wow. Talk about a fall from grace. Alright, so Power Bounce is good to soften up Hooktail, but it might be a little more efficient to use a power move. Let's use Power Smash for a little bit more simplicity. Do 4 damage straight up for 2 flower points. It's a pretty good deal. Oh yeah, and we'll be damaged by the stage gimmicks, I guess you could call them. Because with 1 defense, most of those stage gimmicks won't hurt enemies if they have at least 1 defense or more, unfortunately. I think we'll save the power bounce. Let's use another power jump, just to knock Hooktail down quite a bit more. I'm kind of tempted to use a Honey Syrup to speed this up, actually. A little bit. Would have been nice to get another heal there, or a clutch, but what it is. What the hell? Let's go for a power bounce. Ah, exactly enough. It's almost like that was intentional. Well, wait. Hold up a moment. So at this point, Hooktail will try to bargain for its life with a bunch of offers. If you accept any of these obviously scrupulous offers, you will be attacked by Hooktail. Hooktail will bite you. And that attack will deal 5 damage regardless of whether Hooktail has been softened up with the cricket badge or not. Which is attack FX B or E or Y or something like that. I don't know. Or R, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah, that can be pretty punishing. Even if you have 15 HP like I do at this point, that's still 1/3 of your health. And considering if you're trying to do this fight without the badge, that can be pretty bad. So, yeah, that can be pretty stinking bad. There's only like 3 or 4 offers. You go through them all, and Hooktail says it's important to be able to trust someone. Not Hooktail, though. So Hooktail has one last trick up its sleeve, and that's to eat the audience. Yes. Which means that recovering your star power will be difficult. Which is why I recommend delaying your sweet treat until now. Because, while Hooktail technically has 20 HP, it actually has 30 HP that you have to knock out entirely. Which is about on par with the second boss of the original Paper Mario. Toot Koopa. So, yeah, that's a bit of a twist, I would say. We have 2 Honey Syrups. It's really tempting for me to have Koops use a Honey Syrup. And for Flower Point recovering items, you can use it on whoever. I can use it on Koops, and it'll still count for Mario. So that's pretty cool. So we are going to do a power jump. Yep. And with the badge, it still helps. So... Oh, that was clutch. So, super guarding Hooktail's attacks unfortunately won't deal any counter damage, not even the stomp attack for some reason. I guess because Hooktail is too big. So, considering if you're doing the method that I'm doing with the badge like the game wants you to do, you don't have to worry about super guarding. If you are trying to fight Hooktail without the badge at 5 attack, etc., you may want to try to super guard. Just to cut down on the damage, because it would be pretty insane if you didn't. So finally, Koops gets a shot in on Hooktail, deservingly so. And, well, actually I could do Power Bounce, but let's end this with a bang. Bam! Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. But I can't. How? Why? There's still so much I wanted to do with my life. So many meals. No. Got the 30 star points. Got the clutch level up. Yeah, I really don't think 15. I think 15 flower points is a little excessive right now, considering what we have access to. I mean, with 10 flower points, you can do 3 power bounces, 3 power shells. You can do 2 power shells and 2 power jumps. So yes, we will upgrade badge points. And badge points is now higher than flower points. And what will we upgrade next? I already spoiled that I'm probably not going to upgrade HP until like chapter 3. So, there you go. Wow, we actually pulled it off, Mario. Jeez. Now all we have to do is find that crystal star thing you're looking for, Mario. Makes you wonder if Hooktail is actually dead or just, like, knocked out of commission. And there's Koops' dad. Yeah, I'm out! I'm finally out. Oh, man. Whoa, it can't be. Eh? Dad? Hey, you're Koops. Hey, son, you've gotten so big since I saw you last. Well, yeah, I guess I have, but who cares, Dad? I mean, golly, what happened to you? Where have you been all this time? Well, I came here a while back to deal with Hooktail, and all was well and good. But just before my finishing blow, he played a trick on me and called me down hole. Look, we've had the game refer to Hooktail as an it, and now we've got this guy referring to Hooktail as a he. Make up your mind, game script. Like, for real? I have been hiding in my shell for the 10 years since then, inside Hooktail's belly. Yes, and boy was it nasty. Yuck. I'm so glad to finally get out. Honestly, Dad, don't you know how worried about you we all were? For 10 long years, we all thought we thought your game was over. Oh, sorry, son, but I'm okay. That's good, right? We're together now, right? Hey, speaking of which, what are you doing here anyway? Oh, come on, Dad. I came here to defeat Hooktail, who's been wreaking havoc in town. And Mr. Mario here is looking for a gem called the, Crystal Star. What? Crystal Star? This wouldn't be what you're talking about, would it? You? What's that? Oh, I found it down there in Hooktail's belly. Nice, huh? I kept it as a souvenir. So, this is the thing you're looking for? Perfect! Just perfect. You can have it. Come now, I won't take no for an answer. You're Koops' friend. Please, take it. Please. It's on the house. Forget about it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the first Crystal Star. And we learn our second special move, Earth Tremor. More on that in the next episode. Alright, this has been Lasley. And that ends Chapter 1. Finally. Whew. It's a good thing I managed to do it in 3 episodes, right? How long have these episodes been so far, Goose? Oh, no. You guys are probably not going to hear him on the mic because he's far away talking to me in another room. Oh, no. Well, if there was a series that was worth an extension, I think this one kind of justifies it. Oh, man. Whew. Well, these are going to be rough to edit, aren't they? Oh, boy. So, we always get a little epilogue like we did in the original Paper Mario. And there's going to be some intermissions, but we're not going to do that. So I'll see you guys next time on Let's Play Paper Mario TTYD.